Hey guys, so what determines how successful you're gonna be at running? Most people believe that is the way how you train yourself as a runner. Well, I don't really believe so. It's very easy to have a wonderful running procedure and you keep attending and going for it and you're running hard and you're really doing some smart training in form of running. But if you get injured, you have to take off 6 weeks. It physiologically throws you back, psychologically throws you back big time. To make sure that you have a successful running future, the prerequisite is not to get injured. And that's not fear mongering, it is just simple fact. Most runners experience running related injuries. Now, today what I want to talk to you guys about some very basic routine in your everydays that will attend to certain joints that have a tendency to stiffen up, especially when it comes to long distance running. Long distance running is really what I'm talking about here, not sprinting. Long distance running is a very repetitive exercise. It uses a segment of your range of motions, of your ankles, your knees, your hips, not the full range of motion. Every time when you use the range of motion of a joint and not the full range of motion, that has a tendency to stiffen up over time. So when it comes to running, it's not only about your knees and your hips, it's about the entire body. So I'm going to go over a few different movements that you can just bring into your everydays, even during business hours, as you attend to these little tiny processes that you can do during a business meeting, during brushing your teeth. You're remobilizing, making sure that you're attending to certain parts of your body that most people just simply never spend time to attend to. So here goes the first. I'm going to start from top to bottom. The very first thing that I would highly recommend to attend to is your neck. There's some muscles in the neck that helps you basically to keep your skull nice and even traveling while you're running. Otherwise, everything would be very jolty. So that can actually really stiffen up your neck. Glide back your head ever slight bit. As you can see, I'm exaggerating right now. You can push your head back ever slight bit, like this. Elongating the back part of your neck provides a type of stretching that will help the segments of your neck to be stretched, which stiffens up over time if you run a lot. Another part is your mid-back. The mid-back is very important because as you're running, you're actually rotating your spine. And this rotation itself is very important. But most people lost a lot of the rotation in their mid-back. So remobilizing the mid-back is quintessential for you to be able to run well for a long period of time. So one good way to do this, rolling back your shoulders, pinching your shoulder blade, glide your head forward, glide the head back, and try to see if you can manage to bring an extension from this part of your back as you're looking upward. Now, what is the difference here? Most people, when I ask them to do this, and let's say they don't have a mobile mid-back, what's going to happen to them is they're going to glide forward, glide back, and then they just get their head up like this. This is exactly the sign that the mid-back is not able to move properly and you're overusing your neck. So finding a way to get your mid-back going, proper way of doing it. I'm not overarching my lower back. I'm not overusing my neck. The mid-back is the one where the extension is occurring. Finding a way to remobilize your mid-back is important. Now, of course, if it's really stiffened up, there might be a chance that you cannot remobilize it without an external aid, i.e. a very good joint manipulator, like a good chiropractor, for example. You brush your teeth. As soon as you're done, you just roll your shoulder back, glide your head, mid-back mobilization, and you can move forward. I'm not going to discuss the most obvious stretches, i.e. stretching your hips, your hip flexors, your hamstrings, your quadriceps, your calves. Any of those things most people understand, whoever running regularly. Now, in the case you are not attending to stretching those parts of your body regularly, it's only a matter of time before you're going to get injured if you're doing long distance running. Stretching regularly is the single most important thing if you're a long distance runner in our modern world. Now, if you'd be living in the wilderness and you would wake up every morning, let's say, and you would need to squat to relieve yourself, you would have naturally built-in stretches in your life. But since most people don't live like this, you need to attend to flexibility training as a long distance runner. Another joint that most people don't pay attention, and that's your ankle. The ankle has multiple different capabilities, and some people might actually do some circles with their ankles. But very few people actually attend to the eversion and the inversion of their ankle. Now this is not an easy thing to do, but it's super important to make sure that your ankle can properly support your whole system while you're running. Eversion, inversion is important. Also mobilizing some of the joints in your feet by standing on your toes and rolling out and rolling around. This way you can make sure that all of the joints are mobile in your foot. Now this is important if you do barefoot running, but it's even probably more important if you're doing a shoes running. So these few little things is something that you can regularly bring into your everydays. You don't really need to do much, just remember your neck, mid-back, and your ankles, and that will already support you somewhat better. Again, these will not replace stretching your lower back, your hamstrings, your glutes, your hips, your hip flexors, and your quadriceps, nor your calves. These are just important extra little things people should attend to. I hope you guys find this useful somewhat. Please press like, put some notes down below if you could, and of course subscribe if you haven't. We have plenty other episodes that deals with all different type of running related, perhaps not the mainstream ideas. Thanks guys, ciao.